Is it somebody right on my core? This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, I'm here to talk about Khloe Kardashian because her name seems to be floating around on the internet. First, she is off in Japan with Kim Kardashian, and allegedly fans are having some sort of backlash towards Kim and the way she had edited and put up a picture of her and Khloe, and they were just like, they got on Kim too for how she looks, but mostly how Kim really added Khloe a lot to make her not look like herself. So because of that, that's one thing that has Khloe's name attached to it. However, more importantly, and the real reason why I'm here, is Lamar Odom has a Netflix special. Let me pull up the name real quick. He has a Netflix special called Untold, The Death and Life of Lamar Odom, and it comes out tomorrow, March 31st, at the very end of the month, and it's supposed to go over his life history, and there are some special guest stars like Khloe Kardashian, but also his ex-wife, Liza Morales. But also, I recently found out, I think I briefly heard about this, but I know that Lamar had checked himself into rehab. Now, I wasn't sure why, but now I officially know, is that he had to check himself into rehab at the very beginning of this year towards the end of January. So that means towards the end of February, he would have gotten out because he checked himself into a 30-day program. So now it's March and all this stuff is coming out, and he's having a series coming out about his life history and his struggles with substance abuse. And then he checks himself in because he had a DUI. Yes, he had gotten a DUI just earlier this year for smoking weed. However, he was concerned that was going to cause him to relapse and go into harder drugs, and that's why he had to go into rehab. And all that going on, I'm wondering what is going on with Khloe Kardashian, because it seems like there still is some sort of love there. I don't know, because Lamar Odom also is talking about how, you guys remember that episode on the Kardashians, their Hulu series? You guys, sorry about that, guys. There was something in my eye. Okay. You guys also remember that episode in the Kardashians, the Hulu episode, where Khloe invited Lamar Odom and they had a sit down chat conversation with each other, and it was a bit awkward, and we did a review on it and said that we did not like the way that Khloe had treated him. Well, Lamar Odom has now spoken out and talked about how he felt as though he was, where was it exactly? I don't want to misquote him. Yes, he said that he was feeling attacked on the Hulu episode. So because of that, and he felt uncomfortable, but he also understands where Khloe is coming from, and he didn't want to invalidate her feelings. So because of that, he basically took the abuse, but it was the abuse out of love. So because of that, it's like all that going on, and it just makes me wonder, why was Khloe even invited to, first off, why did Khloe even accept to be on this series if we see how much she feels towards Lamar Odom? And Trisha Thompson too. We know how Khloe is hard on her exes, but it just makes me wonder, is there a sort of love, a sort of rekindling? But Khloe said it her own self that she would never, ever like take Lamar Odom back, like never. No matter how much he has changed, who he is, even though she accepted that apology and did that for the TV, it's just like, yeah, no, you meet together, never again. Not even, only in your dreams. Keep dreaming, buddy. And because of that, she has rejected Lamar Odom and his advances to get back in a relationship, but she sort of still has some sort of love for him to be on this show. She didn't have to be there to recount. But hey, let's just pull some cards on how Khloe feels about Tristan. Tristan, get out of here. Let's see how Khloe feels about Lamar Odom at this very moment. I gotta reshuffle that one. The star card just came out at me, but I'm gonna reshuffle that because I said the wrong name at first. So let's see how Khloe feels towards Lamar Odom in this present moment. Okay. There we go. And the first card to represent Khloe in this present moment, the King of Pentacles. I almost wonder if I want to pick a block card for this, but you know what? Let's just pick a foundation card. The Ace of Cups. Let's see how the other cards play out before I decide if I wish I would have picked a block card. Strength in the past, Five of Swords in the present, Knight of Cups in the future, and then, let's see outside influences to see what's influencing her to want to be a part of this docu-series. The Hierophant, Queen of Pentacles, the World, and the Five of Pentacles. Actually, that was perfect. That was beautiful symbolically and elementally. So I really did not need to pick a block card because Khloe represents the King of Pentacles. However, the outside influences that were supposed to tell me what was her particular drive or inspiration to be a part of this Untold series, well, all Pentacles came out, in fact. So because of that, that just shows, and not only that, the Queen of Pentacles going in hand with the King of Pentacles. So I see still there that that there is some, I honestly, I don't see really bad cards. So like the energy that Khloe has to Lamar, towards Lamar is not negative in the sense. Actually, I see some growth, strength, and like positive growth from where they have been, maybe from that Hulu series. Maybe Khloe within herself has grown as an individual, and because of that, that has allowed her to strengthen her relationships. And I only say strengthen because in her past card we have the Strength card here, which symbolizes her what the past. Obviously, when she did this, she had to muster up the strength to recall those events because it was traumatic for her and him to both go through this. And so because of that, it was like the Hierophant. She was about tradition, but Hierophant also has to deal with commitments and things that you signed to. And because they were in a relationship, I believe they were married. So let me double check that. Because if that were, that even symbolizes the fact that when it comes to the sense of them being married and she was ready to leave him during the time, she still wanted to commit to those vows and to those oaths of, to death do us part. I don't want to prematurely, while you're on your deathbed, I'm leaving you kind of thing. So she was like, I could internally as a woman, I wouldn't be able to do that. So to recall those events, to go back and put herself in that mindset when she has grown past that. It's like the Queen of Pentacles. She was once the Queen of Pentacles, and she has now evolved into the King of Pentacles. So she's still standing strong within inside of herself. She still is that strong, independent money woman. So it's like who she was before Lamar Odom and after Lamar Odom. Metaphorically, she still has the same sort of energy, if not harder, because masculine energy is just more harsh than feminine energy that's supposed to be more soft, stereotypically. But let's see. Lamar Odom. Let me double check that. So yes, because of that, it was that sort. I did find out, and it was like weird. Was that like 30 days? It's actually kind of crazy. But anyway, we know that Kim went through a similar thing. But that's the whole Kardashian sisters and what they go through. But anyway, moving on to this present moment, Khloe as the King of Pentacles, she feels as though she has the strength. She has accumulated that strength to be able to go back into the depths and talk about those things. And the Ace of Cups, even though it's emotional, even though it's overfilling, it's not like overzealous, but it's like overzealous, but in like a negative way. It's just like so many emotions are flowing with inside of herself. It was like overwhelming to recall those events, but she also did it from an authentic place, and she didn't do it from a sour, bitter, I want to change the narrative, rewrite history, because that was in the past. That's like what people like wrote in articles and stuff like that. But we know nowadays people are so into visual things and just hearing things and seeing it. So to put it in a docu-series that's going to like live on, it's going to be easy for somebody to replay that in like a class or like history. So because of that, I'm just saying, like, not saying that the Kardashians are going to be taught in history classes, but metaphorically how history is shared, I could see that putting that down visually is like solidifying that she is choosing to verbally talk and speak and be like seen. We have voice analyzers, people that like analyze your behavior and do like all those different things to like psychoanalyze your every little move. So because of that, Khloe is willing to come forth and talk about the times that it was very friction, but a very period of time where it was a lot of friction going on with her life. And also she had talked about, Khloe is Khloe. I briefly heard that she talked about how she was nervous, and she's entitled to the right to feel she did. But at the time when her and Lamar Odom had their spinoff series, she was nervous, almost maybe felt pressured into doing it because she was like, Lamar loves the cameras and it was his idea to have this spinoff show, not mine. So you see her rewriting some things in history, but also just speaking her truth from her perspective. She was, like I said, she said that there was a whole lot of spinoff series. There was 2 other Kardashian shows. So I get it. It was like Kardashian overflow at that time, but like also everybody loved the Kardashians. So the fear of, are we doing the most? Are we doing too much? And it's like always that friction battle with inside of Khloe of being in the limelight, but also not wanting to be in the limelight. You know how her self-confidence is. So because of that, as her self-confidence is growing, blooming, and evolving, that's exactly why we see her as this King of Pentacles right now. She is confident and has that inner strength within inside of herself to not be able to maybe break down in tears or get emotional or allow herself to get into those reminiscing feelings, those conflicting feelings of remembering those times, remembering those emotions, be like, oh, maybe I should go back to Lamar Odom. I remember how it was. You know how Khloe is. She Hearthstone like a masculine energy. It's like a wall barrier up. I'm not going to let you come through no matter how much you try to warm and butter me up. So because of that, we see moving forward a Knight of Cups energy. Quite interesting, right? Well, actually, the Knight of Cups is not offering very much. The Knight of Cups is actually offering something desertless, the 5 of Pentacles. But also it's the World card. And the World card symbolizes the fact that ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle, but also it's coming full circle. Like I said, Khloe didn't have to do this Untold series. She didn't have to drudge up those feelings within inside of herself, especially if it wasn't for somebody that she wasn't feeling or that she didn't want to be authentically herself. Because you know how Khloe is. She has her podcast now. She's really trying to be a more authentic version of herself. Just speak it how it is, speak her truth and nothing but her truth. So because of that, to do that and come on and say what she has to say for Lamar Odom, we as the audience are going to take it as that's how she feels. And so because of that, it's almost being vulnerable, but being vulnerable in a masculine way. That's the best way I can get it. Not calling Khloe a man or anything, but just the way that she's maneuvering her emotions when it comes to Lamar Odom. It's very masculine. And I only say that because she's the King of Pentacles. And I also only say that is because she evolved from the Queen of Pentacles, which is strength, both feminine, strong feminine cards. To evolve from that into the King of Pentacles, it's almost like the sense of, and this could be another reason why she won't even get into another relationship with Lamar. It's just she feels complete and whole within inside of herself. So it's almost like needing a masculine presence in her life. She's like, I am the mom and the dad, but she also doesn't want. Was it Khloe that talked about not wanting any more children? Yeah, it was Khloe talking about how she doesn't want to have any more children, and she's a single mom at this present moment. And yeah. So because of all that, you can see we see the cold, hard, stern, standoffish Khloe. Okay. Since those wanted to fall, let's just pick some cards. So the first card that I'm going to pick is, how does Khloe feel about Lamar Odom at this present moment? Truth. The truth card came out. The way she feels is being exactly honest, being acceptable and taking an accountability, but also being very accurate, in her accounts. So like I said, it just seems like when it comes to Lamar, she doesn't want to have any lies. She doesn't want to, it's like almost like maybe kind of like cleaning up the past, in the sense where you're like you're like doing some house sweeping, and this is just one thing that she needs to probably like correct for herself. And that was the way but she always has talked about and honestly bragged about how she's been there for Lamar too. So, but she has a little bit more, I hope she's growing to have a little bit more humility about it, especially as she's growing older and she's had more life experiences. But I want to know, now that I know how she feels about Lamar in this present moment, I want to know what was the reason or the influence or the mindset that Khloe was in when she accepted to do the untold, the death and the life of Lamar Odom. Okay. Consistency, constancy. I like that. Being consistent. She was there for him then, and she's still there for him now. She's showing that she is truly authentic and I love you, Lamar, but not like that. Like, I care for you as a human being, what you've been through, what we've been through. I'll never forget it. It's changed me. I've become a better woman and things like that. So she's like Lamar was like that heart lesson for her that she'll like never forget. And she's always going to cherish him for that, in that sense. But also at the same time, when it came to do this documentary, she just wanted to still show that she is still there for Lamar when it comes to him and his drug recovery process that he's going through. So I want to know, I'm curious. I'm just asking so many questions about her and Lamar. I want to know, does Khloe have feelings for Lamar Odom? Ooh, we have a fear card, which symbolizes the fear and the trepidation that she can have towards loving or allowing herself to love Lamar Odom again. So because of that, she is choosing to keep him at an arm's length, as they say, which is a great follow-up or lead up to my next question, which is, I want to know, how did Khloe feel when Lamar had gotten his DUI at the very beginning of this year and had to go into rehab? How did she manage? How did she feel hearing that news? Oh, a proposal. That makes me wonder now. We don't mean a literal proposal note, but like a proposal in the sense of there was like a suggestion or an offer. Now, I'm not sure if she was like the one there that could have been hinting at that. And maybe that's why he felt like he had to go in, or maybe because he also got it and because of his open record, like the truth says, and like Khloe is still there from the beginning, still to this very point. It was a sense of, maybe he knows if they are on a sort of communication base. Maybe he knows how Khloe would have felt hearing about that. And he was just like, oh, let me go get myself cleaned up, especially because this article, this TV series is getting ready to come out. And it would look really sketch if I got this DUI and I didn't go to show that I'm trying to go get help. So, maybe Khloe from like a distance could be like, hey, maybe for your image, you should try to like clean that up a little bit. She's still Mama Bear. We know how Khloe is. So because of that, when she cares, she cares. And when she loves, she loves. So because of that, she could have slightly nudged him in that direction. Let's just say that. But I want to know, is there what does the future behold for Khloe and Lamar? We have worry. Well, actually, the word that came out was a mice. And you know what mice do? They all the time. They're always chipping away at things. And that's exactly what we see here when we go back to that fear with, does Khloe have feelings for Lamar? It's like with Lamar, it's sort of a trepidation that she has towards him. So because of that, she can't fully, because he's not reliable or dependable in that sense when it comes to his substance usage. And it seems like he's still struggling with that. So because of that, for Khloe to, like I said, relive those emotions again in 2026, 2027, 2020, 2030, like who knows when he could like go through those problems again. And Khloe's like to have that constantly chipping away or having me be a worry what about it constantly in our relationship. Or like if you suddenly don't come home, or you come home at like 3:00 in the morning randomly and I'm like, hey, where were you out? Where were you last night? And you like give me like suspicious answers. She's like, I'm not willing to go through that possibility again, because she's like, I have worked on myself, the strength card. I am that King of Pentacles. I don't need or want to tolerate that kind of behavior or that type of environment, especially as a single parent that has children. That's kind of like a helicopter, but Khloe. But she's like one of the better moms outside of Courtney, just the way they parent in my way. I mean, and you also know, to given Khloe's history with her experience with her mother, so try to like right the wrongs when you have your children and all those different things. So because of that, I see all that when it comes to like Khloe, all those different things that wander and traffic through her mind, which I can honestly see here if the Five of Swords mentally in her head, this present moment. It's like all those things. It's like, even if I was thinking that I could maybe give you a chance, you just proved to me once again why I couldn't, or why I wouldn't, or why I shouldn't. So because of those things, it's just love, but like platonic love. Love you like somebody that like I know what you've been through, and I've been there for you, and I can't just leave you like that. So because of that, that's what I see here for Khloe. Honestly, I wish it was a bit better. Like I said, I honestly at first didn't see too many negative cards, but once I pulled out the oracles and I started asking a little bit too deep questions about her and Lamar Odom's dynamics, that's when it started going sour. So it seems like on the surface, her and Lamar Odom are on good terms, friendly terms. But if we dig any deeper than that, it's not so great terms when it comes to deeper than friendship or deeper than acquaintances. Let's be honest. I don't even think we can penetrate down to a friendship. I think it's pretty much acquaintances with them, at least from Khloe's perspective. Maybe from Lamar's perspective, they're friends. But hey, it's a strained relationship. Like like Facebook says, it's complicated. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this reading on Khloe Kardashian and all this stuff that's going on with her in the media, especially surrounding Lamar Odom. And with that being said, please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Please leave your comments down below. Did you know about Lamar Odom getting a DUI? Did you know he was coming out with a TV series on Netflix? Are you going to watch it airing tomorrow? I sure definitely will. I'm curious. I'm quite curious what everybody, especially his ex-wife, Liz, who had to mention her relation, how she was shocked and surprised and was like, oh, you're getting married to Khloe Kardashian so fast. So it was like, I don't know why she had to bring those things up. So I'm quite curious why Khloe is the headline and why everything is Khloe, Khloe, Khloe when it's supposed to be about Lamar and his substance abuse. But hey, you know what? That's the way they promote and propaganda. I just got to fall for it and figure out what it is about. And I will come back and tell you guys about it. I'll follow up with this. So with that being said, leave your comments down below. Are you going to watch it? Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And hey, honestly, now I gave you an incentive other than becoming a sunflower and spreading those beautiful sunflower seeds. The next incentive is to come back and see what I have to say about the untold, the death and the life of Lamar Odom. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this. And you know what I have to say before I go? Hype us up. Subscribe to us. Hey, I'm going to figure out a dance. Sunflowers.